How can we define family violence? Well, first of all, we can say that family violence or domestic violence is any form of abuse among members of the same family, from one member to another member. This abuse usually causes physical or psychological damage to this member of the family. We also have to take into consideration that behaviors that are considered acceptable in certain communities may be completely reprehensible in others. And the definition of domestic violence and the judgments on the perpetrators vary greatly from one community to another, and among the people who provide assistance as well as the people who ask for assistance. The scope of this proposal is not to sustain the possibility to mediate violence. The scope is better, we can say we tend to answer the question whether if it is advisable while the parties carry out appropriate treatments and violence has already ceased and cohabitation does no longer exist, to mediate situations related to co-parenting issues like supplies for the children or meetings with the non-cohabiting parent. Well, we have to take into consideration that there are three different kind of situations involving domestic violence. We have cases of violence, cases with violence, and cases which episodic violence arises linked to a family crisis. In the cases of violence, mediation can only provide some utility in situations in which violence has been exercised symmetrically. In the cases with violence, there is a complementary pattern installed in the lives of the parties. So one of the parents exercises violence against the other. In these cases, we have to take previously additional steps, such as the submission to the participants in the proper treatments, the cessation of cohabitation, and we have to take into consideration other factors to ensure a correct process of mediation. The conflict operator must make sure that the details of the procedure and its rules have been widely explained and understood by the parties. And he also make sure that both parties agree to participate voluntarily. The mediation services premises should count with separate waiting areas and provide appropriate precautions for the mediators, such as a system of emergency call. Finally, the last situation, the cases which violence arises strictly linked to a family crisis, this type of situations involve a completely different treatment because the violent pattern is not installed as permanent or stable in the family bond. So these episodes are very successfully contained by the frame of mediation as one of the issues to work with in the agenda and to be analyzed during the mediation process. This generates a useful context of containment. In Argentina, there is a law that expressly prohibits mediation sessions in cases of gender violence to protect women from re-victimization. I think we can help people to cope with co-parenting issues using the tools that new technologies provide. Virtual or remote proceedings through confidential platforms that host mediation rooms where mediators can easily communicate either with one of the parties or even both of them if the situation allows it, and with the additional possibility of sharing documents through the same platform. I think we should change the way we normally address these situations taking into account that we can easily introduce certain elements that are already involved in the life of current people. PCs, mobile devices such as smartphones and tablets are continuously present in the lives of the people. So we have to take the next step and join the new technologies with traditional resolution methods that have already proved to be effective.